Mr. Akhilesh, thank you so much for joining us today. And
Thank you.
the kind of stuff that you've accomplished is truly remarkable. While I was going through doing some research about you, I came to know that you were instrumental in putting the whole FasTag system in place, of course, with a team of highly professional folks. But that is something which is touching our lives and making our lives better every single day. In addition to that, you're also a road safety ambassador at the International Road Federation, also working with the World Economic Forum. And it was also a delight to know about the other initiatives that you had taken, which we will, of course, talk more about. But again, I would like to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and talk about a topic which is so important for every single one in the country and in the world, and it impacts everybody's lives, which is about road safety.
Thank you. Thanks, Tanma. It's my pleasure to connect with you, as you're all doing a good job towards road safety. I was just going through the profile of your company and yours. It's my pleasure to get connected with you.
Thank you so much.
Please go.
So, first things first, I want to understand. So, what was the whole implementation of FasTag like, right? Right from, was it like a mandate that came in from somewhere? And what were the initial challenges? And what was the vision that you all had set out with the implementation of FasTag?
Yeah, thanks, Tanma. It's a very nice question. Um, see, the toll collection, the national highways are constructed by NHAI using a mechanism called toll collection. So pay as you use a good services. That was the concept for starting tolling on the highways. And as a worldwide, it was being followed. So in India also, we were constructing a lot of highways. Some highways are constructed on BOT model, where the concessionaire put their money, construct the highway on the land given by the government, and they recover their money through the tolling of the vehicles which uses that highway. So this concept was already there; it was working, but there were a lot of challenges as we had been expanding the construction of highways. The toll plaza where the collection used to be done manually, they were becoming a severe bottlenecks. The waiting time at toll plazas, were varying somewhere from 5 minutes to at places at 20 minutes, depending on the peak hours and all. It was miserable. So the wow effect, the benefits of traveling, making a highway was getting wasted. The people were cruising at the good speed of 80 or whatever the permissible speed on the national highway or expressway, but when they approach to toll plaza, they are waiting in a very smoky situation, environmental friendly situation for 15-20 minutes. That was a pathetic scenario. So the government has been thinking, why not we should move towards the electronic toll collection. And in some places, I will mention you like Manesar or the Gurgaon, where people were living on other side of toll plaza. And if they have some emergency to go to AIMS or some hospital or to take flight, many of times the flights used to get missed because of the unpredictability at toll plaza and traffic jams or the emergency situation. So the government was very keen to implement electronic toll collection. When we started this practice, the first challenge came: which technology of electronic toll collection should be adopted? There are many technologies available. One was the DSRC, the short range, which is followed in European countries. Then there is a GPS satellite-based technology. Third is the RFID-based technology. So there was a committee constituted at very high level, and that committee, after going through all those pros and cons of different worldwide technology, they selected that RFID-based technology will be more suitable for India because of various factors like very low initial cost of putting just a RFID sticker on the vehicle, and the reader placed at toll plaza. They're also not that costly. So they selected for Indian specific scenario, this will be. And that RFID sticker is known as FasTag. And the entire system which evolved around, it became a FasTag system. So the FasTag is the electronic toll collection system in India is known as the FasTag, which comprises the RFID sticker, which is placed on the vehicle. So the vehicle can, and it's a passive sticker. So when vehicle comes under the vicinity or the proximity of a RFID reader, it draws energy and then it becomes active and it transmits the data to the receiver. That what is the ID of the vehicle, how much money does it have. So it's a vehicle ID, digital ID, you can say. It is also a payment instrument. And that's why it is linked to the banks. So we created a good ecosystem around it. Yes, there has been some challenges in implementation of this, as it happens to any such a large scale implementation in a big and vast country like India. But there has been a tremendous support from the government, from the policy makers, and I must say from the people, which made it a very successful program. As on date now, around 97-98% toll is collected through FasTag. That has increased to the toll revenue by many fold, which was pre-FasTag. And the waiting time, which I was just mentioning it, varying from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. The average waiting time that time used to be something around 8.5 minutes to 10 minutes. That has drastically come down to less than 10-12 seconds at majority of toll plazas. And I mean, it's almost just slow down or just halt for a second, a fraction of second, and barrier opens, reading the FasTag, and people move on. I generally, wherever I meet, I talk to the people. They're very happy, very good convenience to the user. Environment friendly, I must say, because since the vehicles are not stopping, so those smoke or pollutions which used to emit at toll plaza has drastically come down. We had done some studies also around that. And of course, the revenue enhancement to the government on a single platform. Now, last year, I think the collection was something around 50,000 crore plus. That's the phenomenal jump, multifold. So not only the revenue increase, this also led to, you can say that there is a assured revenue, which is going to go up only with the time. So the financial institutions or other institutions who want to bid for the toll operate and transfer kind of thing or invest, they got a confidence. Yes, this money is assured. So it changed the economics as well, I must say, of the Ministry of Road Transport, Highways, especially NHAI. Over to you. I will take a pause. Tanmay, you got any question? Because it's such a fantastic journey. I can add few more things, but of course, after a little pause, listening from you.
No, I just wanted to add that, yes, of course, there's so much of a enhancement which has come in terms of the efficiency, because, of course, we're not wasting so much of time now at these toll plazas. And also, I'm assuming that before this, there would have also been a lot of revenue leakage that must have been there with only cash-based system, which is also heavily plugged. And so I wanted to understand from you, like, what is the future of FasTag going to look like? I did come across some article where the Honorable Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, was talking about a GPS-based system which would be there, wherein you will not have any boom barriers or anything. It would just be a seamless movement of vehicles. So what's the future going to look like?
Yeah, so that's another very good question. Actually, this is the natural progression. From manual, we shifted to the FasTag. And in FasTag also, there were various stages. If I say that at the beginning, the FasTag, we implemented in only one lane. And that one lane used to have exit lane. If a vehicle enters into FasTag lane, do not have the valid FasTag into it, then it has to take exit. So that was a starting point with one dedicated lane for FasTag. The rest lanes were normal lanes, cash lane. And it was planned that as things move, we'll make second lane and all. But initially, as it happens with any system, the public adoption was lacking. The people were not finding it very convenient because the distribution of FasTag was a little challenge. Person has to go to a bank, sign a long, big form, then a FasTag will be issued to him, which he has to fix, and all those complications. So it was not very user friendly. That's the reason those dedicated lanes were actually getting wasted. Two lanes, in fact, one exit lane, if you so. So on an average toll plaza on India, generally 5.5 lanes are there. It's a 10 lane on put together both sides. Some are 20, 26 lanes as well, but few are only 8 lanes. So generally, if you say it's around 5.5 lane on one side. So if you waste 2 lanes with 0.1% of the traffic passing through, rest 99% on in the balance rate, it was creating a chaotic kind of thing. And the operators were also not supporting it, the toll operators, because then they have to manage. Already it's a jam packed. Now you are stopped 2 lane for FasTag, and with only minuscule traffic, rest our time was increasing. So then we changed the scenario, and I said that the government decided that let's go with the hybrid kind of model, where we'll put the readers in all the lanes and let the vehicles which are having FasTag, they need not to pay any cash, go there, just slow down and move on. If the vehicle and the vehicle which is not having a FasTag, they will be paying in cash and they will keep on going. One lane will be marked as dedicated only for FasTag. The rest are all hybrid lane. So this concept actually worked. And let's focus more on resolving the issues with the issuance of FasTag, make it more user friendly. So we started onboarding the companies like Paytm, Airtel, other such players who were more energetic towards and with their digital platform of distribution and all, simplified the process of issuance of FasTag. Min KYC approval was taken from RBI, and then it moved on. So with this, when the issue of issuance to FasTag to the people were resolved, it very quickly scaled. And we saw a jump in the from 0.1% to 30% adoption in just 5 to 6 months only, because people were very keen to adopt, and that was visible. And thereafter, it paused for some time, but then during COVID, I think nobody wanted to, pay cash to a toll plaza, and of course, people were avoiding it. That, in fact, led to a more promotion, progression of FasTag. And within another 6 to 8 months, we reached up to the level 90, 95, 96%. Another good thing which happened during this time, the FasTag, it was increasing, but then the benefits people started getting, that was, so the government also accordingly kept on making the policies. So initially 1 lane was there, then they say all the hybrid. Third, when they say now all the lanes are dedicated lane. So if anybody pays in cash, he has to pay double. So these kind of regulations actually help the people who were not willing to take FasTag in spite of all these benefits. So for them, this deterrent came, and then it's the rest of the history. It got it's a what's I will say the largest and biggest electronic, or rather best electronic toll collection system in the world. It's not happening anywhere at this magnitude, which is happening in India. So many vehicles, more than 1,000 toll plazas and all. So, but now you ask the question, what is the future? So the future is, here still it is a barrier. There is a barrier which by default is closed, which opens only either you pay in cash or through FasTag. So it's not free flow system. Now our next journey should be to move to the free flow, where the electronic tolling is done without any stopping the vehicle. And that's what Honorable Minister keeps on saying, that we should migrate to a free flow system. Another challenge with the FasTag system is, though it solves many things, is it is against the tolling system the current system is the stretch based. So at toll plaza, the toll is deducted irrespective of how much distance person has traveled on that road. Even if he has entered a kilometer early to toll plaza, but he's crossing it, he has to pay the entire length, 50-60 kilometer. Or if a person traveled up to 55 kilometers just to exit before the toll plaza, he has not to pay anything.
Yeah.
So this is a little dichotomy. But so all these things now can be addressed through the GPS-based tolling. That's one of the free, technology which is very much being adopted by other countries, developed countries as well. Everybody has a plan to move towards the GPS-based tolling, and India is also progressing towards it. We did a pilot before when I was at NHAI. So to prepare a future roadmap, I did a pilot of the GPS-based tolling to see whether it will be practically feasible in India, or what are the challenges and others. So we did it on Delhi-Mumbai National Highway, and it worked very well. I mean, technologically, there are no challenge. They're fantastic. And it has a tremendous potential to further increase the toll revenue, more convenience to the user, and very scalable. So let's see how government is actively working on it. I'm sure maybe in a couple of years or even early, they should be operational.
Okay, that's wonderful. Good to know that. And also, it's really amazing to see the rate at which new roads are being added to our national highway network. I just read an article this morning which mentioned about how we are now the second largest highway network in the world, just after the US. And 59% of that network was laid in the last 9 years. So that's a tremendous accomplishment. And I think kudos to the team at NHAI who is actually instrumental in putting this in place. So I wanted to, while I was also listening to the Honorable Minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, he was mentioning about a very ambitious target of reducing road accidents by 50% by 2024. But he also went on to mention that that is something that cannot be achieved. And we do have this fantastic network, and a lot of great things are happening in terms of the ecosystem which is surrounding that. But something that we're always falling behind is in terms of the number of fatalities and accidents which are happening. And we're never able to achieve those goals because of a lot of reasons, right? And most of it is because of people and their behavior towards driving and road safety. So I wanted to understand from your side, what do we need to be doing different in order to actually bring the number of accidents down and actually achieve the target that we have set out for ourselves?
Yeah, it's fantastic. And see, the road accident are actually a serious concern for India. It is not only it's a blot on the progress, the 59% jump in the highways and all. Those are fantastic things, but it is a big blot to this glorious progress when we talk about the road accident. With nearly 5 lakh accident taking place every year, killing approximately 150,000 people. And that is official figure I am telling you. This is the reported figure. The many agencies, including the World Bank and WHO, many other organizations, they have a very high figure. They say it is underreported. So the figures are, much higher than 150,000, the fatalities and the number of accidents. Leave aside whether it is underreported or this number itself is a alarming number. And you know, the 11% of the entire global road fatalities are happening in India. So around 1.3 million people in the road accident worldwide, 13 lakh, and 1.5 lakh in India. So it translates to roughly 11% of the fatalities taking place in India with just 1% of the global vehicles. And of course, the road network is the second largest now. Something is going wrong somewhere. We cannot blame the entire responsibility, put the responsibility of the accidents on the poor engineering of the highways. Of course, the poor engineering, lack of flyovers where it should be, or merging, demerging, lack of facility for the pedestrian and VRUs are very much responsible. But they are not the sole cause. Probably here we missed the track. And that's the reason, in spite of all these effort in the last so many years, the numbers are not coming down. Rather, numbers are increasing. Because if you see there is a jump of 18% in the fatalities with respect to the last year number. Though last year number 133,000, maybe because of the impact of COVID, but then this year it went to 153,000. So there is an impact jump by roughly 18%. So it's increasing, whatever be the reason. When I started this working as my return to the society, because I was deeply involved with the road construction at NHAI. I was heading the divisions, also the construction wing, FasTag, of course, as another work which I was doing implemented. So this was a very disturbing figure to me. So when I got an opportunity from the World Economic Forum to work on the road safety, because government has requested the World Economic Forum some time back that we need to resolve this issue, and World Economic Forum can help the government of India to come up with some pragmatic solution, because the accidents are not coming down. And they selected me to lead this team, and we gave name to this as a road safety 2.0. So we did a lot of research to find out what are the actual reasons why we are not able to reduce. What crux, what point should we touch? And we found that there was the major focus of the government has been towards the rectification of engineering defects. They call it black spot. So they identify a place where number of accidents has taken place beyond a threshold number repeatedly in a 3 year, then it is designated as black spot or area which is prone to accident. And then that is rectification is done by engineering authorities. That's fine. I didn't say leave it. It must be done, addressed. But that should not be the only focus. Similarly, there was some another government focus has been towards the engineering of the vehicles, where put the seat belt, put the airbags, and all those things. But if you look at the actual reason for the road accident from the statistic, from the data of the ministry itself, and the National Crime Record Bureau, where the accident fatalities data is reported, you will find that around 83% accidents take place because of the driver's human error. The figure may be slightly disputable. Some people say it is not correct because police has a tendency to write over speed, whether the vehicle was over speeding or no. And that 73% which they write about the over speeding may not be correct. I agree with you, may not be correct. But may not be 73, but it must be 65%. Beyond that, because everybody know the people are driving at a very rash speed, and whenever accident happens, it is the eyewitnesses tell that it is happening. The cameras are telling that speed was very high. We did a pilot to just find out the speed. What is the speed people are driving on one expressway? Just we put the Doppler radars, and we thought to let's capture in a pilot only. It was doing nothing, no challan. Just 3 months we put a radar to see what is the average speed, high people are driving. You'll be surprised the people were driving, some percentage of people, at a speed more than 200 kilometer per hour on a highway. So 200 kilometer, it's a missile. The person, if he reached home, thanks to the God only that he reached home, and all the co-passengers traveling on that highway that day. because had it touched to anybody, it could have been the severe fatality. So if they reached home and this guy reached home, it's a thanks to the God. So that's the kind of people are having the attitude towards the, over speeding, then the wrong lane driving and other things. These things put together leads to around 82% of the uh, accident or fatalities. That's entirely human. So we tell, so what we found that this was left only at the discretion of some NGOs. So how can the engineers say, how can we solve the this problem, human behavior? The human behavior can be solved only through training to them by awareness campaigns and all. And that's not a job of the engineers. So let it to be done by the NGOs. And that's how, sorry, NGOs has been involved in training and all. But practically, by just telling somebody, adult driver, that boss, don't drive over speed, don't drink and drive, who is going to listen? Yeah, the child doesn't listen. Whatever you keep on saying, everybody. So how an adult driver is going to listen? That yeah, I does it mean he doesn't know? So so that doesn't help. Mere counseling, mere awareness campaign. Here we came up with the solution, and that's the road safety 2.0 philosophy. That mere awareness campaign are not going to work. You have to empower the individual driver, knowing that he is going to commit mistakes, but those mistakes can be identified in advance using a technology, artificial intelligence based technology, IoT driven technology, telematics driven technology, and the driver can be assisted. An alert and alarm can be given to the driver well in time, so that he can take the preventive actions and fatalities or accident can be reduced. This will actually help, reduce the fatality, number one, very quickly. Second, it will inculcate habit. This will change the behavior of a driver over a long run of time, and this will give some incentives for safe driving, again using some technology, some gamification kind of thing. And that's the way people should be driven to reduce the fatalities. So toward this, we did few pilots to prove this concept, whether it is a hypothetical or it can be, it's doable. And we came up with a few, we did 4 or 5 pilots using the technology, like simple technology, I can say mobile application, where the mobile application, there's a camera which is looking at the driver inside, detecting the drowsiness of the driver. If he's closing his eyes for more than 2 seconds, then it starts giving an alert. Boss up so rahe ho, or in their vernacular language, alerts him, have a coffee break, or ask some funny questions to them. So keep engaging them so that he doesn't sleep. Similarly, it's monitoring their driving pattern. If he are over speeding, alerts are there. If he is driving safe, he's scoring some bonus point called safe driving score. These points, higher the point, he gets some rebate in the insurance premium. He gets some in cash those points at the fuel stations or food plazas. So these kind of things we tried, and believe you me, it worked like miracle. In our pilots, we could able to save reduce the accident by 98% on the selected stretches, the drivers who were doing it. First time when this report we were compiling, I was myself astonished. Something must be wrong. And in pilot, the numbers were also not very less. Approximately 10,000 commercial vehicle drivers used. We targeted them. The numbers went up to around 25,000, and it's still increasing. But 10,000, we had data for 6 months, and they drove something around 15 million kilometers, not less by any means. And the fatalities were zero, absolute no fatality. Only 5 or 6 accidents, minor accidents were reported among these, because they're all getting alerted. They were carving for the safe driving scores. The drivers So initially we were monetizing their points, giving some remuneration to them, some 50 paisa, 60 paisa per point. So these things were happening, and that's a fantastic. So now when I was presenting this, at many places I made presentation of this to various forums, and everybody liked it, and people now started thinking in that. Yes, this is the road safety 2.0 is a looks to be a real solution. I was talking to the minister also in one of the conference. He was also enthusiastic, and many more now ecosystem is coming. Intel, Driver Buddy, you guys are doing, Hamsafar is doing. I mean, I can see a big ecosystem is coming up where new people are coming with the technology, using that technology to alert the driver, and that's how I believe that that will be the easiest and quickest way to reduce the fatalities.
No, absolutely. And the fact that you mentioned that you had seen that for that test group, the fatalities were zero. That's also what the data is telling us in terms of what we have observed. So we have done something very similar, wherein we worked with a lot of these large enterprises, and with their sales reps, service reps, we've implemented an AI-based driving safety application which monitors the driving safety of the employees and also the leading causes of accidents, which are things like phone usage while driving, harsh acceleration, harsh braking, harsh cornering, overspeeding, and distracted driving. So all of these critical data points are captured using only the mobile app, an AI-based mobile application. Now, with this, we're able to coach the employees to become much safer behind the wheel. So after every single trip, there's like a score given to them, an improvement suggestion given to them. At the end of the day, also, they get an aggregated score and then an improvement suggestion. And also, the whole experience is gamified for that particular employee. And now organizations also get visibility into high risk employees, high risk regions, and high risk behaviors. So that is going to be instrumental in helping plan the necessary interventions. So we also give them like
Absolutely.
heat map, and then in that heat map, they can identify where those behaviors are most prevalent and then incorporate that behavior training to those employees of that particular region to ensure that is top of the mind. So one is the data, but the second aspect that is closing the loop, right? So we've also incorporated things like your micro learning modules and all of that, which works together to bring about that behavior change. And as also, as you rightly mentioned, the rewards and recognition is something which is very, very important. So that ecosystem is something which is very, very critical, right from driving safety score, which has an impact on the insurance premiums that you're paying, to say some sort of a rebate or some sort of a credit points or some sort of a discount that you're getting on any service that you acquire, right? That ecosystem needs to be created. And also another thing, this is something that I've been thinking about. It's not just the end users, right? But we also need corporates to get very closely involved into this whole program, because majority of the people are part of some large corporate, large enterprise, or maybe even a smaller business. So maybe what also needs to be done is, if a company has more than X number of people or doing certain amount of revenue, they need to have like a road safety officer in place. These need to be the kind of KRIs that that particular person has. And that is also something which will help ensure that corporates are also taking road safety very, very seriously. Of course, the whole drive of ESG reporting is working in that direction, but like a dedicated focus towards this will also, I think, be a lot of value. And another thing that I feel is that, like they were gamifying this experience for the end user, we could also have this score which, since we know the end user, where they got their license from, which regions are they operating in, this score should also impact the safety score of an RTO. And then that also should be gamified for all the RTOs. So that way we know which is a high performing RTO, which is not performing so well. Where do we need to really?
Very good. Very good.
So these are certain things that I feel
Yeah,
are very important to do to overall bring about a change in the driving behavior of people. Now, also
actually,
the people on the road today, they are just doing things to kind of make ends meet. They're not looking at it from a safety perspective. So hence, also the technology needs to be in such a way that it is giving them these micro learning modules as and when they make mistakes. So I feel so we've put a lot of thought into this, and we have a detailed document also on like what all can be done. But I feel like the whole ecosystem should work together and create these kind of things. And I feel in line with what you were saying, that's going to be instrumental to bringing about a behavior change.
yeah, I fully agree. And you very well summed it up in a crisp way. That's the work. I mean, you're also saying that's the way it is actually working. And what we did when I mean I when I was discussing with these scores, and I also, while not only that the numbers were the fatalities were less, uh, I was monitoring the scores of the drivers in the 6 month, how it is moving. You will be surprised. Initially, the scores were, let's say, 1700 points per month, safe driving score. Next month, it went to 2200, then 2800, average score. Some were very good and some were, but average was it. So every month on month, we could find increase in the road safety score. That implies that the drivers were getting more and more trained. And that's the reason that fatalities or the accidents were reducing, and there was zero ultimately. And those of 5-7 which were reported were at the big initial months. At towards the end of the 6 month, literally there were zero accident also. So that's the we could very well quantify and see the behavior change is taking place because scores are keep on increasing, and this screw. So that's the what when I was presenting this to IRDAI, my aim purpose was that we should somehow link this score with the insurance premium, because it is giving direct visibility about the capability of person and his driving behavior, the SDS. Instead of just having a driving license as a certificate to drive, this guy is, you can always see real time how is what is his behavior. Is a very high driving score, fine, safe driver, we can take a chance, reduce the premium. Very low driver, give him a punishment, or make the premium high.
Hmm.
Below this threshold, don't even cancel the license also. That can happen. But you rightly said you can micromanage the RTOs. Not only this, we can using simple narrow AI, we can identify which drivers, which are the fault areas where which are committing that's responsible for their lower scores. And then you send the customized training video for that guy. If he's a habitual over speeder, he's a habitual of talking to phone, instead of bombarding with all information and all videos, you just bombard to the focused person, individuals with their inability or the problem, so that they can improve only that, and the driving skills goes up.
True. And also, like in case the person also consumes that piece of content or completes that video, then maybe they get a credit and then they could avail that against whatever thing.
Absolutely. And they will love to do it, because if it
Yes.
is a small and focused one, they will spend some time and they will try to rectify. Yes, you're right.
And also, I feel like linking this score to Aadhaar is also something which is totally possible.
Yeah. So I will just jump to say, I mean, say I was trying to not link with Aadhaar, because rather link it with the driving license.
Hmm.
So any
Yes.
person who moves on road has to have a driving license, valid license. So it can be linked to
Hmm.
driving license, and that will do many good things. It will create a ranking of the driver themselves by default, and it's very useful, going to be useful, may not be for the private vehicle, but for the commercial vehicles. The commercial drivers, they are going to be a huge, while doing this pilots and study, I found that in India, the commercial vehicle driver, the truck driver, basically, if I say, they're in very, very bad shape. One of the lowest paid employees, always risk to the life, away from the family for long duration, so involved in all wrong habits and other things. So it is a job nobody looks for unless until there is a survival, and nobody comes from the choice. The uh, Whereas in Western countries, you see, you go to Canada, Australia, or US, the driver salary is even higher than the engineers. So, and in India, it's anybody opens a small shop somewhere in their village, they will be earning almost equal to a driver or maybe more. So, disincentive. So, if we start ranking it, the drivers who are having good score, or they are the long drivers, say 20 years they're driving, their score will be automatically much higher. So, they can demand some premium on that. And at least salary increase can take place linking with their experience, which is as of now lacking. Many things can be done.
Yeah,
Yes.
and also corporates, right? When they're looking to hire employees, I feel like this should also be a metric that they look at evaluating, right? In case it is a field job which requires people, or maybe the government can also have like a standard which says that only people above so and so driving safety score need to be
Correct.
recorded for field jobs.
True, true, absolutely. Carrying of the hazardous chemicals, you put a barrier above 10,000. Corporates can say, yeah, above the oil tankers, above this. So then now you are creating a category, a ranking among them, and this is how their things will start improving. There will be demand, there will be higher salary, and some, you can say, interest of the rest of the people will be generated towards the driving job.
No, absolutely. And I think another challenge that would need to be addressed is in terms of standardizing on these safety scores as well. Because since it's an ecosystem, you'll have a lot of players, a lot of sources of data, a lot of algorithms running on top of it. So that standardization also is something that would need to be dealt with. Everybody will have their own IP in terms of identifying score, but I feel everybody should, in some way or form, come onto a common platform so that it's homogeneous across
Yeah,
every
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, so then in fact, you are absolutely right. So first, our aim was that let's build an ecosystem. So that's now coming up. Many players are coming, and India is such a vast country that you can't have only one. So it's better to standardize the things, and that's what I am trying to work with Ministry of Road Transport. I had couple of meetings. They issued an advisory also based on our pilot recommendation on 10th January, where they have written very clearly that the commercial fleet operators or the driver should ensure that their drivers are safe driving kind of score are there. They are ranked up based on that. Award should be given. So they have issued advisories. They are coming up with many more as well. I'm also working with them as well as Niti Aayog that we should get a standard deck. And once we say this will be the weightage, this will be the criteria of calculating safe driving score, uniform for everyone, and anybody meeting this are free to use their own expertise, develop an app, develop some technology, but of course meeting those, and so the standard uniform results are created. It
I
will
think
be soon.
this could be a part of India driving safety stack also, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
No, I think the possibilities are endless, and the ecosystem and the availability of data is also there to make it happen. Now, one other challenge that I foresee is in terms of the privacy, right? People might say, okay, why do I want to share my location data with the government or with other people? So, how do you think we could handle that question or that issue?
Yeah, yeah, I got it. Absolutely. This is a very relevant question as well because privacy issue will be a challenge. But that we have to, bifurcate this problem into groups. One is the private car owners or the vehicle owners. Second, the commercial vehicle owners, the commercial vehicles rather. So, and if you see the spectrum on an highway, roughly 60% vehicles are the commercial vehicle who ply always on the highways, national highways, or in the major district roads. And the 40% or the or they go sometime to the use the highways as well. So the moment we say for commercial vehicle, privacy is no issue because they are not I mean they are as it is supposed to declare where on which route they are going. Their e-way bill contains all this information. The toll plaza which they are crossing gives information to the fleet operator or the owner. So for them the privacy is rather it is required to track their movement rather than giving any the privacy is no concern to them as well. The privacy is a concern to that smaller segment of the private vehicles. So here, solutions can be worked out. How this can be their location can be masked, their identity can be masked. Plenty of technologies are there, which we recommended when we recommended to the government recently with the Indian Road Congress. I submitted draft guidelines for the GPS-based tolling. That's under consideration with the IRC. Here, this issue was flagged and have addressed it. There are a number of, because the moment GPS comes, the GPS satellite is tracking the same thing for everybody from their home to their destination where they're going. Many people may not like to be tracked from their home. So what we did, we masked their journey from the home till the highway. So when they come to the highway, which is geo-fenced, then only their tracking starts until the time they are on the highway. The moment they take exit, it again, the information is masked. So those kind of technologies, those kind of interventions can be made to address this issue.
So, and that's something that we have also, this is a common question that companies, corporates also do put up because of their privacy policies with the employees and so on and so forth. So same thing, right? Like the masking can be done and also giving the control to the end user as to what data can be shared, what trip insights can be shared and so on, really empowers them through say like a personal mode and business mode is what we've seen to have good acceptance with our target audience. But yeah, I definitely feel like that is going to be a point of concern for a lot of people. But yeah, I think it's I'm very excited for what the future holds. And so talking about advances being made, I want you to maybe throw some light on the advances in intelligent transport systems.
Actually, what we had been talking about the road safety 2.0, where technology is helping the people, assisting the drivers in capturing the information. For example, one advanced technology, which is what we just talked about, was the inner camera. Using mobile or anything which is depicting the behavior of a driver, drowsiness, talking to mobile, his alertness level, seat belt and all those things. But then there are devices like which are outbound camera, which is again AI based camera, which looks at the vehicles, and it is called collision prevention kind of thing. So it calculates the relative speed and gives alert when they find that you are approaching too close or prone to accident, and that saves a lot of life. So there are if we talk in the totality, so there all comes in the big ambit of ITS, intelligent transport system. And I'm fortunate that I had an opportunity when I was at NHAI to work on ITS. I drafted the policy for the ITS implementation on national highways. Still I'm making a policy with the many organizations, IRC and others. ITS consists of both the things. What we just talked within the vehicle, looking inside, outside, within the vehicle equipments, as well as outside, out of the vehicle, like the cameras which are placed on the highways, the cameras which are placed at the junctions and all, the speed detection cameras, the BTZ cameras which can zoom, tilt and focus on the particular incident detection cameras, the variable message signages which are learning these things and informing the driver well in advance that there is some accident has taken place, or some avoid this road, or this road is getting closed. Those real-time informations are coming. Then there is a tracking at the command center. All these things put together are the ITS, and a lot of advancement is taking place in this field. Not only towards the implementation side, the government is coming up with a new version of ITS very soon. That will be, you can say, the India ITS policy. Till now, we are following the Western ITS specs and policies. Now we are coming up with our India stack, or you can say Indian version specification of the ITS suitable for the Indian conditions and the traffic scenarios. Second thing is, a lot of advancement are also taking place in the technology, like the AI camera, speed detection camera, variable message signages, communication back to the driver through, earlier it was mobile app, but then mobile used to be another hazard. If you start looking at mobile, so now these are coming on the dashboard of the driver itself, that some information has come that this road is getting closed or something like that. So those things are easily been, so the OEMs, which these dashboards are generally done at the OEMs level. So we are trying to integrate with them as well, so that information can be given on their dashboard itself, information system or infotainment system. Similarly, we are linking the using the ITS, the nearest police station, panic button, e-call type button is being put. We did a pilot on that. We are trying to map the nearby hospitals into that. For example, very recently I launched a Raksha QR app, QR code. This is put on the vehicles, on the back mirror, on the back. Any bystander, in case of an emergency or accident, he has to just scan it. The moment they scan, they get 3 options in there. And for scanning, no app is required. Using Google or any QR scanner can be scanned. If they want to report to the family, it comes report to the next of kin, the family. Just press it. Everything is hidden. No compromise to privacy. It goes to them with the location that here is the vehicle, some accident has taken place, and they connect to the police. Immediately information goes to the nearby police center, which is mapped and with the location. And same goes with the hospital. And the hospital goes in a ring. The first it goes to the nearest hospital. If they pick up, they get connected. If they do not, then it goes to the next ring, goes to the next hospital, and is out till some hospital is connected. So these are all ITS applications. Another advancement which is coming up in is like it is called CV2X, the cellular vehicle 2X, where the connected kind of vehicles will be there. That will be the ultimate when everything is connected. The front vehicle is communicating with this vehicle, or the back vehicle is communicating. So you need not to inform anything. The moment I am breaking down, my vehicle which is behind me knows that this vehicle is going to stop. So they will automatically slow down, or ultimately, if it is connected to their vehicle system engine, the brake will automatically apply. So the collisions, etc. can. So many advancements are taking place. I'm sure the future in the road safety with the technology is going to be very good, and we will be achieving the zero fatality target, which I don't say 50%. My aim is to look for the absolute zero fatality on the highways. Accident may take place, some minor and here and there, but there shouldn't be any fatality.
Yeah, I think no, it's very interesting to learn about what the future is going to be like. Um, Now, when we're talking about all of these technologies, it's very important to have a thriving ecosystem which fosters innovation, and which means that there have to be startups, MSMEs working in this space. So, how difficult or how hard is it for startups to work with the government in today's day and age?
If you talk about the, startups, the government is encouraging a lot. That's the fact. The government is encouraging the startup, be in any field, be it in the fintech or be it in your housing or technology. Because I also deal with the infrastructure, so I'm automating the infrastructure. One of my recent book talks about uh, artificial intelligence into infrastructure. So I deal that area. I see many startups are coming into with their BIM model and other AI-based tools or tracking monitoring tools. Big encouragement is there from the government side. The rules are relaxed, people are doing it. So same way it goes with the road safety as well. Here I find it is even more easier, more startup friendly, because road safety is a subject which is covered under the rule 80G. Means if people spend money in the road safety, that gets some tax rebate or exemptions. So that encourages more people to do into it rather than investing in the field which are not covered. So I find the government has given a good red carpet welcome to the startups, the youngsters to come into bring technology. Ecosystem is big, the market is very big, opportunities are tremendous. The policies are also favoring to them. And if something is challenged, it can be put to the government, and I'm sure they will take care of that, modify the things accordingly.
Great. And so, why don't you talk a little bit about your book?
Yeah, thank you. Very recently, this is my third book. Earlier, it was digital construction management. It was luckily one of the best-selling books. It was pre-COVID. Recently, I wrote a book beyond infrastructure. So here I talked a little more about the use of latest technologies, AI, IoT, in improving the infrastructure. See, the infrastructure generally in India contributes to 9 to 10% of the GDP. The amount of money government is spending, and it's the second largest employment producer after the agriculture. The natural resources which are used in building infrastructure are huge. The sand, the aggregate, cement, all these things, and they're all not renewable. If you dig out a sand, it is finished. It's not going to. It will take millions of years for the river to bring the back those sands. Similarly, if you deplete the marble or the hill, you are finishing it. So these are non-renewable, depleting resources. So we consume these, at our will, just to develop infrastructure. So we are compromising. These are not sustainable things. And the carbon emission, the alone construction sector is responsible is 38%, 38 to 40%. Huge. So we talk about sustainability. So people keep on talking. Then I came up with some solutions. What actually how we can do? We can recycle the aggregates. We when we construct a new building, multi-story, we are demolishing something. Those aggregates with use of technology can be modified. They can be reused over here. It can be used in not on site, but it can be taken to the factories. Prefab structures can come. AI can come. 3D printers can be used. So these things, what my aim is to reduce the carbon emission of this, make it more sustainable and very efficient. Because as of now, the construction sector is the only sector which is least digitized. For example, if I just compare 2 decades back, how was the manufacturing of a car sector? 2, 3 decades back, The car used to take a lot of time to construct, generally, I mean, to make in a factory. But now with the automated platform, driven platform, in 180 seconds, one car, brand new car is delivered. It comes out of the factory. Many factories have started even in 90 seconds. Every 1.5 minutes, a car is produced. In housing or the construction, it still takes 5 years to make a house, or 4 years or 2 years. Why can't we automate the entire system and start making a house? This is a digital age. The youngsters have no patience. Why can't we make a house in 6 months or 4 months, and infrastructure in less than a year? So this is possible only when we use technology, the latest technology into this sector. And as a you can say the stakeholder, as a person who has been in this field for many decades, I thought it's my responsibility to lead and tell people, yes, these are doable. We have done it at NHAI. We created one of the most advanced NHAI data lake, on which an AI top engine was there. So entire NHI, which on the NHI cloud, and that we did few years, I mean 2-3 years back. And the benefit of this, direct benefit, like during COVID, when the whole country, the infrastructure, rather whole world were reeling because they're not finding ways how to restart it. The labor problem, other issues were there. The NHI broke its own record during the COVID of the construction, because everything was online. No approvals are required. Just put from anywhere. The entire workflow was on an NHI data lake. We were mapping even where the labors are there. Geo we found more labor, giving them the nearby project. You come over here, we are creating a containment zone and start working. The doctors' facilities were there. So this is how technology helped to accelerate the construction. And that's a proven. So that is what I have highlighted in my book, that technology can really transform, and it can improve a lot of efficiency into the construction sector, and which is need of the hour. Because this impacts the human lives most than anything else. We spend 90% of time in some or other building, maybe our house, our office, if you are shopping in a mall or either on a road. So everything is construction only. So when we are spending 90%, why don't we focus and make this more efficient and optimal? That's the basic theme. Rest, I leave in the viewers to get it from the book. Just buy a copy and read it. What recommendations I have made.
Oh, that's wonderful. And also, I was listening to one of the ministers, I think Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, and he was talking about how even the bullet train project, a lot of construction activities are a first of its kind, where I understand even the Japanese team who is instrumental in putting this bullet train in place, they're also very shocked and amazed by what has been put in place by the team here in India. And they do want to also implement some of those technologies, methodologies in Japan and maybe other places also, where they do intend to put these projects in place. So I feel like we have this innate intelligence and capability which is finally seeing fruition, and there's a long way to go. And I'm a strong believer of how this is our time to shine, to make a difference.
That's
Yeah.
yes.
And so what's the message you want to leave people with?
I will say be optimistic, be positive, use technology, because I talk about the technology more, and you will find almost practical application of technology in any field. The road safety we just discussed, how it's a technology can transform it, construction industry, anywhere. So and the future, India is on a yeah, literally on path of glory. It's a shining, plenty of opportunities. This is called a snowball effect, which has now started in India. When it's a, and it will keep on increasing only. It's like a snowball. When it starts from the mountain, it keeps on building up in the size. More and more snow gets accumulated with it, and as the size gets bigger, the speed gets higher, and ultimately it becomes a massive avalanche kind of thing. And that's what is going to happen in India. Very prosperous future, very bright future I can see. And going forward, there is no stopping. Only the people has to be positive, have energy, and believe in yourself that yes, it can be done. I'm sure no stopping.
Great. Okay, thank you so much for your time. And we're very confident that, and we know that this is something which a lot of people can learn from and will definitely impact a lot of people in the country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.